Hey guys, tonight close your eyes. Let the modern world fade. The hum of electricity, the glow of screens, the endless noise of comfort. Because tonight you're not here. You're standing on the edge of a frozen world, Scandinavia, more than 1,000 years ago, where the last light of autumn stretches over the sea like a dying ember. The waves roll softly against the shore, whispering secrets to the stones. Above you, the sky glows in hues of fading gold and iron gray. The air smells of salt and pine, sharp and pure. You are Eric, son of Bjorn, a quiet soul with calloused hands and eyes like winter rain. You live on a narrow strip of coast, where the mountains fall into the sea and the wind never truly rests. The village is small, no more than 20 timber houses that huddle together against the cold, smoke curling from their thatched roofs like thin gray ribbons. The people here have been preparing for months, chopping wood, salting fish, mending furs, for the season that is now almost upon them. Winter, not the winter you know. No heaters, no blankets from stores, no glowing fires at the press of a button. This is a Viking winter, where the sun disappears for months, and warmth is something you have to fight for every single day. You stand by the edge of the fjord, a hand resting on the haft of your axe. The air is still. Only the cry of a distant gull breaks the silence. Behind you, the village feels slower now. Children no longer run by the shore, and the laughter of women washing clothes has faded with the light. Everyone senses it. The turning. You lift your eyes toward the mountains. Their peaks are already white, dusted with the first snows of the season. Soon, that snow will descend, covering paths, roofs, and fields until the world becomes a single endless sheet of white. You breathe deeply, filling your lungs with the last scent of open earth, moss, soil, salt, because soon even that will vanish under frost. As you turn toward the longhouse, you hear the low murmur of voices. The men are gathered around the central hearth, a pit lined with stones, glowing faintly with the last embers of the evening fire. Smoke curls upward through the hole in the roof. Your father, Bjorn, sits at the center, his broad hands resting on his knees. His beard is silver now, though his voice still carries like a hammer strike. The ice will reach the fjord before the next moon, he says quietly. We must seal the storehouse tomorrow. The spirits grow restless when the snow begins. The others nod. No one questions it. Out here, superstition and truth often share the same skin. You take your place beside him. The warmth of the fire licks your fingers, but it feels thin, fragile, as if the cold is already pressing against the walls. Bjorn looks at you with steady eyes. You will take the sled tomorrow, he says. Go to the upper forest. Bring back birch for kindling and spruce for the hearth. Choose it carefully. Green would bring smoke, not heat. You nod silently. Words feel unnecessary here. Beyond the walls, the wind sighs again. It's an ancient sound, one that has always been here, long before men built their homes of timber and hope. When the meeting ends, you step outside. The night has deepened, and the northern lights flicker faintly above the sea, ribbons of green and white moving like spirits across the dark sky. The fjord lies still, reflecting the lights in trembling streaks. You stand there for a while, letting the cold bite into your skin. It's the kind of cold that doesn't just live in the air. It seeps into the bones, into the mind. But you don't fear it. You've known it all your life. In the distance, a wolf howls, a long, hollow note carried by the wind. Somewhere deep inside, a shiver moves through you, not of fear, but of recognition. The wild and you are made of the same thing. You turn toward your home, a small hut of pine logs and turf. The roof slopes low, and a single slit window lets out a line of warm, golden light. Inside, your mother tends the small flame that dances in a shallow clay bowl. The scent of tallow and smoked fish fills the room. She looks up when you enter. Her hands are wrapped in wool, and her face glows in the dim firelight. You'll go to the forest tomorrow? She asks softly. Yes, you reply. Before dawn. She nods and hands you a piece of dried meat. Then eat. You'll need your strength. You sit on the low bench beside the hearth. The walls creak gently with the wind. Outside, the night hums, distant waves, the sigh of trees, the occasional bark of a dog. Your mother hums an old song, a lullaby from her youth, about a ship that sails into the northern lights and never returns. Her voice is low, almost a whisper, and it mingles with the sound of the wind until it's impossible to tell where one ends and the other begins. When you finally lie down, the straw beneath your blanket crackles softly. The warmth of the small fire fades slowly, replaced by the rhythm of your breath. You think of the path through the forest, the crunch of snow, the groan of trees heavy with ice. You think of how each winter feels longer than the last, as if the sun grows more reluctant to return. Sleep comes quietly, like a tide rising without sound. Outside, frost begins to bloom along the window's edge, tiny stars forming one by one until the world beyond turns to glass. And in your dream, you stand again by the sea. The sky above is vast and dark, and the lights of the north ripple like waves of silk. You feel the cold not as an enemy, but as a presence, old, patient, eternal. It whispers through the wind, prepare, because this is the last calm night before the storm.